Standing more than 12,000 feet above sea level, it's the world's highest place for playing polo. This is Shandur, home to an equestrian team sport introduced by the British. Shandur's Polo Festival is now one of Pakistan's largest, attracting thousands of visitors every year. But getting to the so-called roof of the world is not easy.
We've just taken off from the federal capital, Islamabad, and we're heading towards Shandur, the highest polo ground in the world. And though it is only 700 kilometers from Islamabad, but it takes at least 25 to 28 hours of journey by road owing to the harsh terrain and the weather conditions.
The road to Shandur from Islamabad is a stretch of waterfalls, flowers, and gushing rivers. But the journey itself is tiresome, to say the least. And it can be deadly. The roads are not paved, and quite a few landslides block the path. But passion for the game is enough to push the more adventurous types to make their way through the bumpy terrain. It takes about 3 days to reach Shandur after traveling hundreds of miles at snail's pace.
This is the third day of our journey towards Shandur, and at this point in time we are crossing the Hindu Kush mountain range, and behind me you can see the Trichmir, which is the highest peak in the Hindu Kush mountain range, and it stands tall at 7,770 meters above sea level.
Upon reaching Shandur, one is welcomed by meadows stretching as far as the eyes can see. Enthusiastic campers pitch their tents by the lakeside. Preparations for the yearly event are underway.
There is a clash of two major tribes, basically, the Gilgit and the Chitral. Where we are sitting right now, basically, is the central point between KPK and Gilgit-Baltistan. And the main significance is by itself, because this is the highest playground for any sport.
Some of the tourists here are from overseas. Iqbal Hussain, who comes from Oman, says he is captivated by the beauty of Pakistan.
What they portray through the media, you feel afraid, to be honest. But when you see by your eyes, when you come over here and when you meet people and you travel inside the cities, town, villages, then you will come to know it's nothing like that. I mean, it's like I feel more secure than even if I'm traveling outside the country.
Pakistan's northern region is known for its beauty and peace. But a dark cloud shrouded it in 2001 when international forces invaded Pakistan's neighbor, Afghanistan, following the 9/11 attacks in the US. Then Pakistani President General Pervez Musharraf jumped on the bandwagon of what was called the War on Terror. Terrorists often cross the porous border with Afghanistan to establish safe havens in Pakistan's northwest. Swat Valley, then the tourism hub of northern Pakistan, fell to pro-Taliban fighters, becoming a valley of death and destruction.
In 2007, the northwestern Swat Valley of Pakistan was taken over by Taliban insurgents, and the tourism in Pakistan northwest was badly hit. But it was followed by an army operation, and all the terrorists were flushed out of the area.
Amid the conflict, Pakistan bore an enormous loss. Northern Pakistan, once frequented by millions of tourists every year, became a frightening place as the effects of terrorism lingered.
Many foreigners used to visit, these places, but now there are some very, for them it's very difficult, So either they need protection or they need very difficult protocols to follow, so which is very difficult.
But all hope was not lost. Shiraz Nasir and his childhood friend Qasim Khan both travel enthusiasts, aimed to revive Pakistan's dying tourism industry. Shiraz started his career in hotel management but realized he wanted to do more. With Qasim, Shiraz established a travel company in 2004.
This all started, when I was, back in the school days. I was into a lot of adventure activities. I used to go explore with my friends, since we were blessed with such a beautiful country. So, that thing established in my system that I have to go in search of, basically my own self. I went to find my own self.
One, it was a passion for me. Second, I felt really bad when I was traveling abroad and coming back to my country in Pakistan and hearing things about Pakistan. It used to be the global capital, it used to be the hippie trail, the Silk Route and everything. The KKH is, are one of the wonders basically. But if I ask anyone of my age about these things, they will be saying, what is it? So I felt that, while I was working in the corporate sector, I left my job, and after that it was too hard.
Shiraz and Qasim believe tourism can defeat terrorism. Their goal was to boost local tourism in Pakistan.
There was a big downfall of international tourism, and when we started, there was a lot of discouragement. Nobody was very supportive of the idea that, you want to become a tour operator. It's like a failed investment. There were difficulties, we have, these terrorism activities and all. So obviously that hurts, that kills the safety factor, and people are more keen on going outside, abroad, than inside Pakistan.
At that time, encouraging people to travel within Pakistan was difficult.
Apart from convincing my family, it was too hard to convince people because of the security and infrastructure and everything. Our biggest friend was social media. Because of social media, we grew.
But the security situation is slowly changing. The South Asia Terrorism Portal has recorded a steady drop in terrorist attacks since 2013. Government statistics also show 70% decline in attacks in the first 9 months of 2016. Pakistanis are flocking back to shopping malls, resorts, and restaurants. Today, with security improving, the company organizes several trips across Pakistan for local and international tourists.
Because Pakistan Army have taken initiative, and they are working a lot in sense of make the security stable, and now the whole region is like peaceful.
On the day of the match, thousands flocked to Shandur amid stringent security measures. Before the game, important guests are shown traditional dances, followed by paratrooping by Pakistan's army.
Though security is of primary concern, but the decades-old Shandur Polo Festival seems to have been taken over by security forces with more than 15,000 personnel guarding the event.
After hours of festivities, it's game time. There are no hard rules in the match. Injuries are common among players and also audiences if the horses run into them.
Excitement is at its peak as an estimated 30,000 people from across Pakistan have gathered here to witness the decades-old rivals of Gilgit-Baltistan and Chitral.
The rival teams belong to Chitral from the northwestern province of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Gilgit-Baltistan. The Shandur Pass lies at the border of both provinces. Tourists from across Pakistan have come to witness the mega event.
शंदूर मेला इनकी सकाफ़त है 1914 से, और ये काफ़ी अच्छी सकाफ़त और बहुत अच्छा मैच है। इनको मतलब इनके लिए बहुत ही कदीम चीज़ है। इनके ये पुराने बादशाहों के वक्त से ये खेल रहे हैं।
मैं पहली दफ़ा आया हूँ, बहुत मज़ा आया इधर, बहुत अच्छा मौसम है इधर, लोग बहुत अच्छे हैं, बहुत तावन करते हैं, मेहमान नवाज हैं बहुत ज़्यादा।
Chitral has been winning the game for the last 8 years. In 2016, it emerged victorious again.
आज बहुत खुशी का दिन है हमारे लिए, क्योंकि यहाँ इतना लोग हमको देखते हैं इधर, बहुत मज़ा आता है, खेल भी अच्छा किया, माँ बाप का दुआ हमारे साथ है, इस वजह से हमने मैन ऑफ द मैच हुआ।
Shamim is the captain of the Chitrali team. He has been playing the game for over 20 years and says the government has not paid enough attention to the event and to the people of Chitral.
हम बहुत ज़्यादा मुश्किलात, सबसे ज़्यादा मुश्किलात हमें ये जो सड़कें जो है इसकी वजह से, हम गोलों को चित्राल से यहाँ चलाते, रोड पे चला के लाते हैं, इसको गाड़ी पे उठा के नहीं ला सकते क्योंकि रोड नहीं है।
As the game came to an end, the fans slowly make their way home. The journey is long and tiring.
The locals here say that more than the terrorist threat, it is the poor infrastructure and the roads like these that is affecting the tourism industry of the northern areas of Pakistan.
But locals see a bright future for the region with projects like the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, a large network of roads and bridges on the horizon.
These are the roads less traveled, and I would say that Pakistan is unbelievably gorgeous and one of the most hospitable nations in the world. And it's not what it seems, on news always. The people have big hearts. They offer you everything, So I don't have words to basically describe my feeling, but it's one of the most hospitable places in the world.
Industry insiders see a long road ahead in reviving tourism in Pakistan, but they say steps are being taken, no matter how slow and bumpy the journey is.